and it's lights out and away we go. So Hamilton gets away well.
Privyet, Formula One fans. Welcome to Formula Pun Racer. I'm your host, Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders. It's October 2nd, 2020. Before I get into my review of the Russian Grand Prix, however, I'd like to share with you some interesting IndyCar news. For those of you who have yet to find out, it is official. After his road course test at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway earlier this summer, NASCAR driver Jimmie Johnson, 7-time champion, as in this guy, even though he's driving with Ali's sponsor in his final NASCAR season, is finally going to race Indy cars full-time for Chip Ganassi Racing. Yeah, pretty exciting, huh? Jimmie Johnson in Indy cars. Hopefully that Red Bull engineered aero screen will help him consider going into the Indy 500. If not next year, then 2022 at the least. I hope he does, and I hope he is very competitive and, just like Kurt Busch, can do even better. Win the race. Well, Kurt Busch didn't win, but he finished in his rookie season 6 in his only Indy 500 start for Andretti Autosport, so that was pretty cool. I'm sure Jimmie Johnson, driving for Ganassi, could do just as well. What I don't know yet is, will Marcus or Felix stay with Ganassi as well? Because Scott Dixon's going nowhere. But with Jimmie Johnson also needing sponsors for the race, that's going to be decided. What will his number on the car be, too? But you can imagine Scott Dixon is still staying with his number 9 PNC Bank at Chip Ganassi. Ganassi. Choosing Johnson to drive for him in the future at Indy cars? Well, that's a chip off the old block for you. Sweet it is to see Jimmie Johnson driving for Ganassi in a Dallara Honda, rather than his Chevy that we've been doing all his NASCAR career. Well, things change. The 2021 IndyCar schedule has been released. Unfortunately, you'll be disappointed if you're expecting some more ovals, because unfortunately the only races that are going to be held in ovals this year are at Gateway, Texas, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Richmond was supposed to take place this year in 2020, but the pandemic canceled that. Unfortunately, it's not coming back next year either. Same with Pocono.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
For those of you complaining about, that Pocono's too dangerous, well, guess what, drivers? It's called a Red Bull engineered aero screen. It's supposed to keep you from complaining, so you should be safe. What's there to complain about now? Plus, we Pennsylvanians need racing out here, because that's what makes Pocono worthwhile to us. I wouldn't go there for NASCAR, only Indy cars. And plus, I had much fun. I always paid top dollar to support that event. I've attended every IndyCar event at Pocono since 2013, sitting in the Victory Club seats. Always loved it. Not to mention, it gave me the opportunity to converse with a few drivers, something the likes of which I couldn't do at Indianapolis if I tried. It's also interesting to know that for the first time starting in 2021, there was going to be a doubleheader at the IMS for the road courses for both Indy and NASCAR next year, in August, I believe. Offhand, I'm not sure. I'll look into that. But at the same time, it kind of disappoints me that if NASCAR is actually going to do the road course and no longer do the ovals, and IndyCar is going to follow suit, and NASCAR is planning to do the Daytona road course as well, and Circuit of the Americas is no longer on the IndyCar circuit, but NASCAR is considering that now, I say that IndyCar should do the Daytona road course too, because if NASCAR is going to go to Indy, IndyCar should go to Daytona too.
Of course!
And once again, you're complaining about high banking or getting in the fence like Dan Weldon? Hello! I think the Red Bull aero screen will keep you safe and calm, so you shouldn't have to worry about that now. And besides, the Red Bull aero screen is what persuaded Jimmie Johnson to test drive the Indy cars. If it weren't for that, he probably wouldn't be heading for Ganassi next year like we know he is now. But that's just my 2 cents on the opinion, why we should, I will share with you the entire schedule in my next video. But to get back to the Russian Grand Prix, which took place in Sochi, it was an interesting start. And the first turn created quite a bottleneck of traffic, and it didn't end well for Carlos Sainz Jr. Yeah, Walt took a bite out of that orange, alright. Oof. If you thought Carlos Sainz Jr.'s crash was crazy, To think, just a few corners later on the same lap, Charles Leclerc Ferrari accidentally bumped into Lance Stroll of Racing Point, sending him into the wall. Fortunately, though, he and Sainz were not hurt. But you can imagine how hard that was on Racing Point's pride. But interestingly enough, all wasn't lost for Racing Point. Sergio Perez, who unfortunately they are ousting at the end of the year in favor of Sebastian Vettel, the fools, finished 4th for the team. I think they should have kept him at Racing Point when it becomes Aston Martin next year. Because, like, Vettel, come on, he didn't even finish in the top 10. Well, maybe it's the car, but who knows if Vettel's confidence will actually get knocked up by moving to Aston Martin or whatever next year. Who knows? Charles Leclerc finished 6th in the race. Lewis Hamilton finished 3rd after incurring a few racing penalties for some practice problems that he had. 2nd place went to Aston Martin Red Bulls and Max Verstappen, who did his best to take it to the max. And the winner of the Russian Grand Prix was Lewis Hamilton's teammate Valtteri Bottas, who is now 44 points behind Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship. Mercedes have pretty much sealed the Constructors' title already, ahead of Red Bull, McLaren, Racing Point, Renault, all of which are ahead of Ferrari in the points. With the next round at the Nürburgring in Germany on October 11th, will Lewis Hamilton win this one? If he does, not only will it be sweet and pretty fitting for Mercedes to win on home soil, but Lewis Hamilton will have equaled Michael Schumacher's race victory record of 91 wins, the winningest driver in F1 thus far. So, wouldn't it be something for Lewis Hamilton to win in Germany and to get his 91st win to equal Michael Schumacher of Germany? Wouldn't that be something? If you're wondering, when was Michael Schumacher's last F1 win? The Chinese Grand Prix in 2006 for Ferrari. To get back to IndyCar news and to wrap up this video, the green flag flies today. Tune in on the USA Network at 3:30 p.m. to see the first of 2 Harvest GP races at the IMS road course. Rinus VK, the Dutch rookie, is on pole, and no doubt the other boys are right behind him. Let's see how this goes, and I'll tell you the rest when it unfolds. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.